We just received the devastating news about the loss of the lives of 12 children and many, many who are injured. Tragically, it's no longer something which shocks us because this has happened so many times. And it's time that we, Israel, the Jewish people, take responsibility for what is happening. And what I'm going to share with you is based on the truth of this statement, which you may have heard. It's a well-known statement. And if you don't agree with this statement, you may want to stop listening. But if you do agree with this statement, then you'll want to hear the rest of what I have to share. And that is that if the Arabs put down their weapons today, there would be no more violence. And if Israel would put down their weapons today, there would be no more Israel. This to me is absolutely true and clear. Israel genuinely and truly wants peace. Our enemies have clearly stated and have written in their charters the obliteration of Israel. Anyone that cannot see this as a clear truth, I have nothing to really talk to you about. But this is for people who can see that but wonder what we should be doing. We have a value system, and that value system comes from our Torah. Our Torah comes from God. So our value system is a divine system, meaning that the creator of the universe gave us a system of values, morals, and laws that when they are followed, the world functions. And this also deals with how to deal with evil or negativity or things which human beings should not be doing. How do we deal with that? We have a value system for that, and that's exactly what we follow. And our value system is very clear that the very highest value, which we always follow except for some very rare exceptions, is the value of life, which means that life supersedes practically anything. And we will do anything to preserve life, which means that when we maintain a situation where lives can be taken, we are not following our value system. And when we talk about lives being taken, we're talking about where there is a perpetrator and a victim, where there's one person who's inciting and taking away lives. When there is a person or an entity that is removing other lives, the Torah tells us a very clear instruction that before they have the opportunity to take away life, we have the obligation to take away their life. This is Jewish value system. This is the divine value system. This is the value system that everyone in the world should be following. Tragically, we live in a world which to some extent is godless. We have leaders throughout the world who do not follow a divine morality, and they follow their emotions. And because it's very emotional when dealing with life and death, pull back, pull back, pull back, and we never actually obliterate evil. And when we never obliterate evil, evil comes up again, and all we do is prolong the pain, the suffering, the loss of innocent lives, and the enormous pain to all of those who are related to those innocent lives. This past Shabbos, I had dinner with many guests at my Shabbos table, including a couple who lost their son of 18 years old in 1995. The pain that they're living with today, almost 30 years later, is indescribable. And this is true not only for Israelis, this is true for Palestinians. So anyone that claims to care about Palestinian lives has to understand that we must completely stop the ability for terrorists to continue terrorizing, because they are not only terrorizing Israel, they are terrorizing their very own people. And anyone that pays any bit of attention to what's going on in Gaza knows that Hamas terrorizes their own people even before this war broke out. Literally terrorizes and kills their own people. It takes courage to own up to this, to acknowledge this, and then to be very clear about what it is that we are meant to do about this. And that is, what we are meant to do is not deter the terrorists. We have to get the word deterrence out of our vocabulary. We are not deterring anybody. We are stopping the terrorists. And anything that deters them and doesn't stop them means that we have not fulfilled what we have to do, our obligation. And our obligation is to stop, not to deter. Deterring means we have not finished the job. The same way, when someone's in the middle of a surgery, you don't stop the surgery because you're overwhelmed by the amount of blood you see, but you finish the surgery. Likewise, we must finish the job, exactly as Israel continues to speak, but they have to completely do. And that means that we no longer need to comment when Hezbollah shoots rockets into Israel. Israel needs to say nothing. We just need to do. We need to speak with action. And the action is that we will do everything we have to stop this. That means everything we have to stop this, not deter it, but to actually stop it, which requires much greater measures than we are taking. And we need to, as the Jewish people, lead the world in finally following divine morality, unapologetically. And it will be difficult in the beginning, and then the world will be grateful once we actually shorten the process, so we're not in these prolonged wars, and that we actually rid this for the world, so that nobody is suffering at the hands of these people, and nobody is dying at the hands of these people. We preempt murderers by murdering them first. This is our divine duty. And may God inspire the hearts and minds of the Israeli leadership to do just this. Stop the terrorists, not just deter them. And may we live in a world where there is no longer such evil being perpetrated.